What up, though? My boyfriend and I played through the Keys and the Maw on Halo, and it was pretty fun. I like Halo. I've played it 3,000 times, and I still always get lost on the Maw when you need to find the ammo room in case you run out of ammo. Because we were playing on Heroic, so we didn't have any, like, big time weapons. But he's more patient than I am, so he found the ammo room. Um, Krillitane Storm. The Krillitane Storm by Christopher Cooper is a Doctor Who book published in 2009. And I've read this book before. I don't really remember much. I didn't remember much about it when I read it. But if you like Doctor Who and you like the 10th Doctor, you'll probably like this book. I read another Doctor Who book and I didn't really like it that much, but it was mostly just Amy, which was weird cuz normally like Donna and Amy are my favorite companions most of the time. When she marries Rory is when she's my favorite companion. Before that, she's just annoying. But yeah, this one the Doctor doesn't have a companion with him at the time. I do think Donna's still traveling with him. I don't think this is between companions. I think like remember that episode where the Doctor got on that train? I think the episode might be called The Midnight Express, but the Doctor got on that train and Donna was like at a resort. So it's not like they were traveling separately. No, it's not like she wasn't with him. They were just in two different places because she didn't feel like going. So yeah. We open with our stinger scene, not a stinger scene. What's it called? What is that called? Like the scene that sets up the rest of the story. I don't just want to call it an opening scene. Start off with a stinger scene, and it's the death of Brother Neme, something like that. Something killed him, probably a Krillitane. The Doctor is traveling alone in medieval times, and he comes to a town that should be lively, but it isn't. And he convinces an innkeep to let him in. People have been disappearing for 3 months, which is fun. People have a curfew, and it's been like this for a while. The Doctor hears a scream and runs out. People think it's the devil's huntsman claiming souls, but actually, it's the Krillitine. We find that out pretty fucking early. So I feel like if you find out pretty early who the villain is in a Doctor Who story, they're not the main villain. Anyway, the Krillitane also, at this point, we find out that it still looks how it did in the episode School Reunion, despite it being the 12th century. A chick named Emily, also not from Earth, finds the TARDIS and hears the scream from and finds the Doctor. The guards arrest him, but Emily gets him free by like pretending that she's his wife. And Captain Dark is also a person. For some reason, this book smelled odd. I didn't know why. Like, I hadn't opened it in a while. Maybe that's what it was. But the book, like, it didn't smell stale. It just smelled odd. Prolific physical book readers know what I'm talking about. So the Krillitane girl, there's a Krillitane girl. She wants something. Her name is Toclaw, and she wants to free her brothers and sisters. The sheriff orders Dark to move soldiers into the city. The Doctor and Emily talk, and she thinks that he's involved with her family, but he's not. I don't remember finding out what like Emily's whole thing was. Something about her dad dying. I don't know. Krillitane also don't travel alone. They always travel in packs, so that means that if there's one, then that means that there's tons. So yeah, the new sheriff brought his own peeps, so the Doctor thinks that it might be the sheriff, which is fun. Dark finds Emily's stuff and he's mad because they escaped with the psychic paper and like she had a gun. I think it was like a futury gun too. Dark finds them and threatens them, but they get him to trust them a little because the Doctor just has one of those faces that you just trust. I shouldn't wear the hat like this. I look weird. And the sheriff is human, but someone is controlling him, and Dark is also Dark is kind of working for them, but like he doesn't know that he's working with not the Krillitanes, with whoever's controlling them. And yeah. The Doctor also like comments with one of his made up words, it's all made up, but with one of his made up words that none of this feels Krillitane-y. If you don't remember the episode School Reunion, the Krillitane the Krillitane are a species of alien in the universe that when they conquer another species, they take on all the best attributes of that species. I believe by eating them. I don't remember. In the episode school reunion, as well as reuniting with Sarah Jane, which was really nice after like 6 doctors of her not being there. Um, her actress, may she rest in peace. But the episode, the Krillitane wanted to unlock. Oh, I want to say that it was called the God Complex, the Paradigm Complex, something like that. It was some code that would allow them to like rewrite the very fabric of the universe. And the doctor was like, not about that life. How about we don't? And Krillitane are harmed by their own oil in that because they've changed so much by the 21st century that their own oil is toxic to them. So they defeat the Krillitanes and by blowing them up. So in case you didn't remember what that series was about, what that episode was about, that's what that episode is about. Emily finds a thing. She's got like this whole side plot going, and I have no idea because she decides that she needs to leave, and Lazola, Nathaniel, Hank, she wants, I think she's like searching for him or something like that. I don't actually know. It's really hard for me to like stare at the camera because I can see myself. I don't know how people do this. And my eyes are also very dry, and I don't know why. I think it's because when I play video games and I get hyper focused, I don't close my eyes for a long time. Hank and company, because he is the bad guy, have captured Krillitanes. Toeclaw was one of the ones that they captured, and they think that she's dead because her receiver isn't working anymore. I don't know what the end goal here was, because like they're keeping them subdued in like cages, and at the end of the book Hank is like trying to sell them, I think, for the oil. I don't know what the end game was, because if you don't keep the Krillitane subdued, then they're going to kill you. Emily feels bad for leaving, so she goes back. The doctor goes to the cathedral and meets Hank. Hank has him subdued. Dark saves him. Emily finds Toeclaw and decides to help her. And Hank is farming their oil for profit. And because the oil, by the way, it makes you super smart. I keep going back to the episode. In the episode School Reunion, they were using children's minds because they're like super pliable to unlock I want to call it the God Complex. I don't know what it's called. I'm going to call it the Paradigm Complex because that just sounds better. Also, there's an episode of Doctor Who I'm pretty sure called the God Complex. Anyway, so the Krillitane brood got exiled, and they were safe until they came across a scientist when a youngling got sick, and then Hank, and now here. The oil allows the Krillitane to do what they do when they take over another species' like best attributes. It's liquid evolution. Emily and Toeclaw arrive. Emily's actually a bounty hunter and Hank is her target. Toeclaw gets angry at seeing Hank and like charges at him, but she gets hit, like she crashes into a shield because Hank had a shield up in case someone tried to shoot him and steal the steal it, I guess. I don't know. Hank also had Emily's dad killed, so that's fun. Toeclaw's also a target of some other Krillitane, and she promises to leave if they help her. So the doctor helps her escape, and Hank tries to escape. And the people looking for Toeclaw, because Toeclaw was her and her little rabble were exiled because they had a rebellion, a failed one. The people looking for Toeclaw come, and it could be a bloodbath. Hank tries to help them, like the bad people. Toeclaw decides to go face to face with the bad Krillitane, if such a thing can exist. Hank escapes with Emily for like a second, and Toeclaw defeats the bad person. Hank's ship exploded. Toeclaw dies. Krillitanes leave. Hank's in jail. So I think the 10th Doctor's depiction is very accurate, and I think that the story was fun. I like the Krillitanes in this story. I mean, they kind of freaked me out in the episode, but that's probably mostly due to shitty CGI from 2010, 2009, I don't know. So that's fun. 2009, because this is usually when the book comes out is the year it takes place, like the seasons. Where does Krillitane Storm go? Krillitane Storm goes right underneath Master Magician and above of Covington Pax.